It is a perfect day to talk Disney parks, and we are so glad you could join us. Hey, on today's show, Bob Iger has had his contract extended once again by the board of directors as Disney CEO. He isn't done yet. And Oogie Boogie Bash tickets went on sale again this past week. Yes, there were plenty of IT problems. We'll talk about it. Disney World's summer slump is in full effect. Believe it or not, attendance is taking a hit. And Disneyland celebrates 68 magical years this upcoming week. All that and so much more to talk about. You stick around. And if you'd like to be rewarded for watching or listening to this broadcast, all you have to do is head on over to The King Report on YouTube, and beneath this very video following the live show, leave the comment with the phrase that pays. The phrase that pays this week is Happy Birthday Disneyland. Happy Birthday Disneyland is the phrase that pays. You have between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time in which to enter. If you are the winner, we'll reach out to you and get that mug shipped your direction. Happy Birthday Disneyland beneath this video following the live broadcast. Tyler Crouch is our theme park analyst, and he's here. Katrina Manzone, she is our travel agent, and she's here. I'm Wade Heath. I'm your host. I'm definitely here. Garrett Hassel's our reporter, and he's joining us too. Kingdom Report Live starts for you in 50 seconds.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Your Disney family is here, and we are thrilled to be a part of your weekend. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we take that live look outside of the Disneyland Resort, across the monorail beams and into Tomorrowland. There it is, the tree line view, as I like to call it, via the HojoAnaheim.com Mattercam, because you get to see the Matterhorn. Yeah, we got the Castle Spires, Matterhorn, and Big Thunder Mountain in the distance on a sizzling summer day in Southern California. How do you do, friends? Wade with the Kingdom Report here in the beautiful confines of the Warner Brothers Studios Media District in Burbank, California. And like I said, it's a hot one out there. So thanks for coming on in and joining us for a bit of a cool down. Yeah, we're going to talk all things Disney as your Disney family. Make sure that you are subscribed to our channel. Make sure that you are, in fact, set up to download this as a podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and rate and review, as well as share this very show with any Disney fan that you might know, with a Disney fan that you might appreciate. Let them know that we are available for their listening or viewing pleasure. Today it is all about the biggest news of the week, and that, of course, is regarding Bob Iger's contract extension. We will be talking about it, but who's we? Well, the Disney family can't just be one person. No. It's a little bit bigger than that. Joining me here today, as usual, it is our travel agent and Disney princess in-house retained individual, Katrina Manzoni.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And alongside her, perhaps the future CEO of Disney, he is our theme park analyst, Tyler Crouch.
Hello. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I think it's a
Well,
done
a
deal.
contract just got extended.
I know.
You have a little bit more fighting to do, it looks like.
No,
It's
no,
not a
no.
sure bet anymore.
I've been in talks with Bobby this whole time.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, it's all going according to plan. No big deal.
Oh, he's a shoo-in, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let not your heart be troubled. Tyler Crouch is on his way
Still happening.
to the executive suite.
True.
And joining us abroad, our reporter, the Golden Goose himself, Garrett Hassel. Hey.
Oh, hello everyone, and I got a little Bruni here. Yeah.
Oh, little Bruni.
Yeah, Bruni is probably my favorite character in Frozen 2, honestly. And Samantha. Can't leave out Samantha. She is quite something.
Can't leave out Samantha.
No.
I think your favorite.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's Saturday, so I figured let's go festive Disney Hawaiian and have a good time. Aloha.
Yeah, you and Tyler both exchanged memos, it looks like. Tyler with the
Yes.
Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirt, Garrett with a Hawaiian-style shirt. Is that a Hawaiian print? I can't tell.
No, it's just
Katrina.
flowers.
It's just
but
flowers.
if we want to say Hawaiian, sure, why not?
And I with my
Tropical colors. It's like
standard
peach.
cardigan. It's Peach.
Peachish. Yeah.
Salmon.
Salmon.
It
if
is
you
more
will.
salmon.
Yeah, okay.
They don't have salmon in Hawaii, though.
They don't have salmon where?
Hawaii.
In Hawaii, because it's freshwater fish.
I guess that's probably true. The more you know.
But you know what? They have papayas, and that's like a papaya color.
They do have papaya.
You
And
could-
that's where,
And-
Dole got started.
Bob Dole?
We're off and running. Yes, compelling conversation and always the most intriguing, that's for sure. We can't begin a broadcast without a toast. And so we invite you, whether you are listening or watching, to grab a cup of something good and toast with us this week to something fantastical. Katrina, I believe you have the honor of making the toast this week.
'Tis my turn. Let's do it. Okay, so my toast is to the new San Francisco coming into DCA. It's going to be fun. It's showing up August 31st.
Huzzah!
We get to see Hero and Baymax running around, so that's fun. And new food options, which is always fun. And they're not getting rid of the birria taco, so I'm okay. So cheers to not getting rid of my favorite thing.
Hey! Cheers!
La.
Cheers! Thank you,
tasty.
Baymax.
I love Big Hero 6. I hope they have some of the other characters pop in because, Honey Lemon and Wasabi and Fred, they're, I don't know, Big Hero 6 is definitely a film that I love so much. And you do have a special cameo at the end.
You
A
do?
guy by the name of Stanley. I don't know what his last name is.
Very
It's just
special.
Stanley. Yeah.
Yes. And rumor has it, Baymax talks.
Yeah.
So that is going to be thrilling. Don't get that at Epcot. No, very much.
No.
Ah.
No.
He comes special to California
here.
Adventure and speaks up in our environment, that's for sure. So looking forward to meeting Baymax and the San Francisco magic that is about to take over what was Pacific Wharf area of California Adventure. Very much worthy of a toast, Katrina. Nice job. And we want to get you caught up on your headlines. Stand by. It is Disney News Review time. Let's go. Disney News Review time, taking a look at some of the biggest stories from the past week. KTLA reports that the Disneyland Resort will celebrate 68 magical years this Monday and will hold a celebratory cavalcade to mark the special occasion. Walt Disney welcomed the first guest into Disneyland on July 17, 1955, and the celebratory cavalcade will take place at Disneyland at 11:45 a.m. and will likely include appearances from Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy, among other characters. The Anaheim-based theme park will also celebrate its birthday with a new donut available at Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe from July 15th until the 17th. And the resort's latest celebration comes during Disney 100, a year-long celebration of the Walt Disney Company's 100th anniversary. In other news, the Orange County Register reports that Oogie Boogie Bash fans who waited 12 hours in a nightmare virtual queue to buy tickets only to experience online system errors and find all the dates sold out fumed on social media about Disneyland's, quote, epic fail. Disneyland sold out of every available date for Oogie Boogie Bash in September and October on the first day tickets went on sale to the general public on Tuesday, July the 11th. Fans who anxiously waited for a chance to buy tickets to the wildly popular Halloween event fretted all day as they watched dates repeatedly sell out on the Oogie Boogie Bash website. Oogie Boogie Bash tickets sold out while I was sitting in the queue, wrote one person on Twitter, adding, "I've been in the queue all day," close quote. Tickets for the annual event initially went on sale to Magic Key holders on June 27th and to the general public on June 29th. The annual pass holder event went off with relatively few hiccups, but technical troubles started with the Oogie Boogie Bash website shortly after the general public tickets went on sale. The technical troubles forced Disneyland to reschedule the general public online ticket sale to Tuesday, when hours-long waits further infuriated the Oogie Boogie faithful. Fuming fans took to social media to vent their anger at Disneyland's, quote, epic fail. Out in Walt Disney World, CNN reports long lines and jam-packed crowds tend to go hand in hand at Central Florida's world-famous theme parks during the summer months, but Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando parkgoers may be in for a reprieve this season. Wait times for rides and attractions at both resorts have shortened, according to analysts who track theme park attendance. Videos on social media also show park attendees remarking on thinner crowds. The reasons behind the slowdown are hard to pin down, but travel experts point to extreme weather and heat in Florida, as well as a waning post-pandemic travel boom. Disney CEO Bob Iger attributed Disney World's recent decline in wait times to an overall slump in Central Florida tourism, saying, quote, Florida opened up early during COVID and created huge demand and didn't have competition because there were a number of other states that were not open yet, he said in an interview with CNBC, adding, if you look at the numbers in Florida in 2023 versus 2022, where not as much was open and Florida was the only game in town, there is a lot more competition today. Iger told CNBC he did not have long-term concerns about Disney's theme parks. Disney declined to comment to CNN about park attendance. And finally, CNBC reports the Walt Disney Company will extend CEO Bob Iger's deal by 2 years, extending his tenure through 2026. Shares of the company were effectively flat after the news. Iger told CNBC in February that he had no intention to stay longer than 2 years in his post, which would have taken him through 2024. Iger returned to Disney in November, retaking the job from Bob Chapek, who was appointed CEO in early 2020. Iger planned to prepare his next successor during his new stint as CEO. The succession process remains a key issue for Iger, who noted in a statement Wednesday that the board of directors of the company continues to evaluate candidates for the post, saying, quote, I want to ensure Disney is strongly positioned when my successor takes the helm. Iger said of extending his contract, adding, the importance of the succession process cannot be overstated, close quote. Iger has delayed succession decisions before, however. On 4 different occasions between 2013 and 2017, he extended his tenure as CEO after saying he planned to retire. Iger's second tenure at Disney has coincided with upheaval in the legacy media space. Big players such as Disney have had to contend with a rapidly shifting landscape as ad dollars dry up and consumers increasingly cut off their cable subscriptions in favor of streaming. And definitely worth talking about Bob Iger's contract extension now running all the way through 2026. Who could have seen that coming as the replacement CEO that was once the CEO that came back to being CEO, who was once everybody's favorite CEO and is now seemingly stepping in it as a CEO. It all depends on who you talk to. Anyway, he is going to be sticking with the Walt Disney Company now through 2026 officially, and Tyler Iger said he was only returning as Disney CEO to right the ship and had no desire to stay beyond the 2-year emergency contract. Your reaction to the story that he is now on board through 2026?
I mean, I got one thing to say. Follow the money.
Follow the money. That man needs an island, right?
Yeah, we've been talking. He's trying to build an island. He's got his whole thing happening. He's like, well, and he's got to listen. His pockets are getting low, so if he wants this island, he needs to be back.
Well, he was retired for 11 months,
yeah,
and you know, going out as a multimillionaire, you can only last for so long, and 11 months is a long time to go. So naturally, probably came back because he needed that paycheck.
That's exactly right. You read the room perfectly. No, I mean, but truthfully, I do think probably his main reason for doing this is he's getting a huge amount of money from this. I mean, I think that's probably his number one thing. I think the number 2 thing is they don't really have anybody else right now. I mean, there's kind of nobody around to take up this mantle. And it just seems like the company is going to be struggling. And I think they just offered him a ton of money to stick around and just said, please, Bob, please don't go anywhere. And he's like, well, I do have that island to build, so maybe I'll stick around. But I really think it's that
Tyler's
simple.
ready.
Is all what?
Until Tyler is ready. That's
Until
what he
Tyler
said.
is ready. Yep, there he is,
Yeah.
running for CEO.
Yeah. Don't forget to vote.
That's right. The campaign continues because Tyler Crouch for Disney CEO. What's the catchphrase?
He ain't
He ain't
Chapek.
Chapek.
He ain't
That's right.
Chapek.
Just remember that, everybody. Remember what we've been through. And,
The
what
bar
can I
couldn't.
say?
Bar couldn't get lower.
No, the bar could not get lower.
Right.
And, I would like to build an island one day.
Yeah. Get your own yacht, the SS Crouch.
I wouldn't call it that.
Oh.
I don't really like my last name.
We'll name it after Katrina.
Oh,
There we go.
There we
that's
go.
so sweet.
There we go. I
Lady
like that.
Katrina of the Seas.
Oh, has a nice little ring to
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Seems to work well. Well, yeah, don't forget, a huge campaign has been underway. When I first heard the news that Bob Iger was extending the contract, I immediately thought of Tyler, and I was like, oh my gosh. What? I thought it was a for sure deal. However, you've reassured me.
No. Yeah, it's all according to plan. This is all. Don't worry. 2026.
Maybe a little more
I'll have
grooming.
my ducks in. Because I've been really busy.
Yeah.
So he was willing to kind of take over, and because I'm, I've got a lot going on right now. So
Got married
So
this
much.
year.
Yeah.
all kinds of-
Newlywed.
Right.
yeah.
true.
So
Lot happening.
I mean, I let him do his thing, and then when I'm ready, I'll, when my stuff settles down, I'll be ready. To
Keeping the seat warm.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, not this year, Niger. Just do it a couple more years and then I got it.
That's
and
it,
he's
yeah.
like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Perfectly fine. And Tyler, you make a great point when you talk about really there's no one to choose from at the moment within the Walt Disney Company. And naturally, we've watched the bizarre vanishing
Musical chair?
acts. Yeah, musical chairs, vanishing acts to a certain degree. The CFO stepping away here recently, the chief diversity officer resigning out of nowhere. It seems as though the entertainment heads, a lot of the chiefs of entertainment throughout the company, they are not doing so hot right now. Mainly because of all of the downward trajectory of so much of the entertainment business. And so mixed with that, a very unfortunate writer's strike and now actors strike that's going on. And things are getting rather thick when it comes to the hairiness of it all.
Yeah. It's
and
getting spicy.
yeah, very spicy. And Katrina, under Iger's return, the company has laid off over 7,000 people. And he's now talking about selling off legacy assets like the ABC network. What do you imagine the future of the Disney company will look like as a whole by the time we reach 2026? Looks like he's making some really big moves in a short amount of time.
See, that's tough. I mean, it's really sad that he's like so many people are being laid off right now. It's not looking pretty. Especially with the writer's strike and the actor strike right now. A lot of this stuff is gonna be kind of like on rough seas for probably a while. But I mean, I can't see him really selling off the ABC network. I feel like that's just like a really bad move. Like if he does it, that would be in my mind really, really stupid. Just because they use ABC all the time to promote Disney. Everything they do, they always promote Disney with ABC. Like Good Morning America, they show up, they pimp it out. Every single time there's something new happening, right?
Christmas Day Parade.
What?
The Christmas Day Parade.
Oh yeah, the Christmas Day Parade.
Dancing
I mean,
with the Stars.
yeah. I mean, now they had to
Also-
bring Dancing with the Stars back to ABC because it failed so bad on Disney Plus. Remember? Like no one watched it. I didn't even watch
I didn't
it.
even know it was on. I didn't even know it was on there.
Yeah, they did it for one season. They tried doing it like live on Disney Plus. No one's gonna do it. So like ABC is just kind of like you have it on your channels and you flip through it and you see it, whatever. But I can't. If they do that, it's just like it's a bad move. And then plus like with the Oscars and stuff too, because don't they change the networks every year so they all have like an equal play. But now
like the
if
Super
when
Bowl.
yeah, and then if it goes back to ABC, like who's gonna promote it if NBC buys ABC or whoever buys it? It's just gonna be a bad move. Anyway,
And Jimmy Kimmel Live too.
and
They
Jimmy
promote all
Kimmel,
their
come
movies
on.
and stuff on Jimmy Kimmel. So
Can't get rid of it. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel does want to retire soon too, so maybe it'll happen. No, but if that happens, I feel like it will, in 2026, if he sells it off, it's just gonna make it worse for Disney.
You think so, huh?
I think so. I mean, he was talking about even trying to sell Hulu and stuff, and it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, if you want to sell Hulu off, that's fine, as long as they like keep ABC on there, because isn't that how you make most of your money, through ads? So
Yeah, I don't know. And with
I
dipping
can't
ad
imagine
revenue,
them getting rid of it.
Sure, and with dipping ad revenue, that continues to, I think, be the struggle.
Yeah.
Is that traditional TV isn't performing the way that it used to. I think the whole entertainment industry is at a point of real contention and conflict to try and determine where things are going. Naturally, everybody made huge investments in streaming recently, and now every company seems to have its own streaming service, and I think everyone feels as though that's the way where, that's the route it's taking, that's where it's going. However, on top of that, you have the concept of this traditional media and channels that still exist, the networks, ABC being, one of those sort of original founding big three networks. And you're absolutely right. ABC is used for so much PR for everything that Disney does, and to think that it might fade away or he might sell it, fascinating kind of concept, especially when you realize that the majority of things that are the most successful on ABC tend to be their live programming. And I think that maybe that could be the only saving grace for traditional television moving forward is live, because it's a reason to tune in. Streaming is the home of on-demand, immediate pleasure, and being able to just call up anything that you want. Live television still has a place. Live television still has an opportunity. And so I think that if programming becomes majority live on networks, it might be a saving grace. But I know that the failing ad revenue is part of the huge backlog problem for the company. And he's also talking about slowing down the process of putting out Marvel films and really slowing down the process of Pixar's output, and I think they already slowed down here the last couple years, and still things are not performing the way that they used to, because the consumer base is in such a state of transition.
They're pushing out so many Marvel things. It's just kind of like, slow your roll a little bit. Like, I mean, the Secret Invasion thing is, listen.
Well, and then we see that they spent $212 million.
Yeah, and that's like probably to get Samuel Jackson to sign on. You know what I mean? They spent so much money on
$212 million, Garrett.
That is the money Tyler said I was going to get when he got CEO.
That's my island money.
Quiet about some things. Yeah, that's. But the ironic thing is, ABC is where Bob Iger got his start in the Disney company. He started as like a production assistant, and then when ABC was acquired, Bob went along for the ride, and he then, got his rise to fame. So it's kind of ironic that he's like, ABC would be the one place we cut. That's where I came from, but I got no ties to them because I want my island. But I'm fine if they slow down on some of the mass production of things, because I think if you produce too much, it's oversaturated in the market. And I think that's why Star Wars, like the Star Wars stuff, does a lot better, because they hold out a lot longer and they release it like every once in a while. Like, Mandalorian, then we'll have Ahsoka, then you'll have, something like Bad Batch. It's not all like, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, WandaVision, like three or four shows like every season, or like actual, like summer, winter, fall. I think if they hold back a little bit, it might do better, and then it takes some more time to, have higher quality writing. Because I think some of the Marvel shows, the writing hasn't been as high. Because you look at Doctor Strange 2, didn't do as good. The best Marvel film has been like Black Panther 2, and that's part of it is because it was in honor of Chadwick Boseman. But Eternals was hit and miss, so I'm okay with Bob. I think he's been in entertainment for a while, a lot longer than Chapek was, and I think he knows the industry pretty well. So we just have to wait and see what Bobby says.
Yeah, because I can't imagine that spending $212 million on a television show is sustainable for Disney Plus. Like it just really, especially when I hear it's not doing as well as they expected, and I doubt that people are, what they really are looking for is the amount of people that a show pulls in. And I can't imagine people were like, well, I got to get Disney Plus for Secret Invasion.
Right.
You know? And so they really got to watch what they're doing, because that type of stuff is literally just throwing money out the window from my perspective, from the limited things I know. But
their promotion was low too on it as well. Like they didn't say the date, like they didn't push it as much as they probably needed to for people to like remember, like, hey, it's on Disney Plus. I feel like they add a lot of stuff to Disney Plus that I just don't know about, and then it just gets lost. And then plus like their like the new arrivals and like how they have it set up on Disney Plus, just kind of everything gets like lost in the shuffle.
That's a great point. I think that now we've entered this era where we went from a place where a film coming this summer was a massive year-long event. Think about the
Like
Lion
Barbie
King
movie.
Think about
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Think about those 90s era films that were year-long celebrations. Everybody knew about, everybody was invested in. It was a pop culture takeover every time Disney produced another film. Nowadays, and this is true across the medium now, across entertainment, nowadays, there's so much being produced and there's so much content being pushed out, and there's so, I don't know if the PR budgets are the same or what. I feel like I'm not hearing about anything coming out anymore unless it's the hardest push and they are spending quadrillions of dollars.
Quadrillion.
That's my word.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing that, that's island money right there. Unless
Yes.
they're doing
Yeah.
that, you really don't hear too much about
Yeah.
it. And I think about Elemental as a really great example of that.
Oh yeah, it was a blip. Boop.
Yeah. I mean, you wonder why it didn't do so great. Well, there you go. I mean, I barely knew it was available. I barely knew it was happening. And I feel like the last couple of Pixar films have been like that to me, where I just didn't even realize it was coming.
I feel like even Indiana Jones was kind of like, I mean, like it didn't, I felt like that movie kind of just came and went so quickly. And I think I saw a couple trailers, but other than that, I don't know what they did to promote that movie. They made a guy that doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford show up at Disneyland. Like, what else are they doing? So,
Run through Adventureland.
I mean, I don't know. And it only made $50 million in the opening weekend, right? So I mean, that's a terrible loss.
Things are different, right, Garrett?
Yeah, no, things definitely are. I remember when Hunchback of Notre Dame came out, there was a big rush and you saw all the animation. You're like, oh my God. Even though it's, I think it's more of a cult classic, like just the commercials for Hunchback, you're like, that looks so cool. It looks so amazing. And it's this long, like you'd have trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3, trailer 4, and they'd all have different bits and pieces. Now it's just, you get 2 trailers about a month and a half before the movie comes out. And then it's in theaters. It feels like for 3 months. And it's like, hey, in 2 months, it's coming to Disney Plus. And like, okay, well, I can just wait till Disney Plus. It was like, I'm trying to think of like Luca that was on Disney Plus or Turning Red, those got barely anything. I think I saw more Elemental push via Hulu commercials because Disney owns it, so it doesn't cost them anything extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, the promotion's just not there. The only one I've seen recently that has more promotion is Haunted Mansion, but I'm seeing it more on social media than I am on television. But the new Haunted Mansion looks pretty solid, so definitely got to check that out at the end of the month.
Hopefully it succeeds and delivers the way that they think it's going to, because even somebody with the box office prowess of Harrison Ford, I mean, in the final installment of his part of the series, it's just not hitting the way that they thought it was going to. So definitely a state of flux across all of entertainment right now, and Bob Iger has his work cut out for him. That is for sure. That's your Disney News headline wrap up for this week. Let's jump into some trivia, shall we? I think we shall.
Shall do it.
Disney trivia time. Taking a look at some of the biggest questions that might get your goat this time around. All about Disneyland. As we celebrate the 68th anniversary of Disneyland Park, we are going to focus in on Disneyland specifically for the Trivia Minute. First question, and do not type it into your computers. Hands up. Thank you very much. Disneyland Park first opened its gates on July 17, 1955. Who bought the first admission ticket to Disneyland? Was it A, Roy O. Disney, the brother of Walt, B, Lillian Disney, his wife, or C, the master of ceremonies for the opening celebration on ABC, Art Linkletter? Roy Disney, Lillian Disney, or Art Linkletter? buying the first admission ticket to Disneyland on opening day? Let us begin with Tyler. What do you think?
A. Regis, final answer.
A. Roy O. Disney. The brother
Yes.
is his answer.
Yes. I'm actually pretty sure I've seen the ticket at
That'd
the archives.
Were you able to handle it?
We touched it.
We did.
But it
touch-
was
in
encased
a,
with plastic.
It's
I was like, you
encased in
touched
something.
it? That seems kind of
We held
lack
it.
of security.
We held it.
Okay.
We
Didn't throw-
held a ticket, but who is it? Who
gonna
is
say,
it bought from?
How
who
do you
bought
know?
it?
How do you know who it came from? That's for sure.
Doesn't say your name on
It's
it.
tough. Yeah.
There's no picture attached to it like now.
I know
Things were different.
Lillian was like, "Oh, my husband is going to bankrupt us, so I'm not supporting
heels
this."
are-
I have no money.
You're getting into this-
I have no money left.
Yeah.
I am Lillian. Katrina, your answer. Roy Disney, Lillian Disney, Art Linkletter.
Okay,
All right.
so
A ticket
Roy.
being sold.
a ticket. It's the first one, so it's like 0.0000001,
Right.
It's true.
and then you buy it with money.
A purchase,
But they didn't have
perhaps.
credit cards back then, so it was cash, paper.
Paper.
A ticket also was paper.
Yeah.
Or a check.
Or maybe they wrote checks.
wonder
Who
if they
knows?
took
I don't
checks.
think they did take checks at
wonder-
that
I-
point.
At
I
the
think it was
turnstile.
yeah.
Let me write that out for you. Yeah.
Will call if you
If
you
you will. Yeah.
you know.
I will.
Lillian, the wife of Disney, you would think that she would have to buy it, but she probably didn't even want to show up. I
wants
don't
to
know
be
who the
supported?
last person is, to be honest.
Art Linkletter, the host of ABC's Welcome to Disneyland special?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I know. Wow.
Banish
so I'm gonna.
you. Wow.
But ink is also printed on paper.
This is a fact. Look at her go.
All right, I'm gonna say A.
Really piecing it
I've been
together.
trying my hardest to let
Saying
this go
Roy
on.
O. Disney. Very good. Don't take notes from Katrina. I think we've learned that.
Her thought process hurts.
Yeah, you shouldn't really talk it
Sorry.
out, I don't think. So it
Yeah,
does
see,
you more
in the
harm than
car.
good. Garrett, your answer.
Well, I was going to pull out the whiteboard, but Katrina kind of beat me to that with her 5-minute long explanation of how, purchasing things go. I don't think Lily would get it because, Walt was like, "Yo, baby, this is my
Lily.
hood, my house. You just slide in with me. Security gonna let you in."
Oh,
And then Walt said to Roy, "Yo, dude,
Bro.
you're financing
happening?
this whole thing. You just tell them who you know."
dude.
But Art, he's got a cool name, but he's like, "Listen, you got to pay to ride the carousel." So I'm gonna go with Art Linkletter because that's a really cool name. Also, it sounds like something out of a comic book. Like
You
Art
people are
Linkletter.
ridiculous. Yes, Art Linkletter. He's a legend. Great name. You're right. So you're going with C. Very good.
Yeah.
Off camera, producer Tony, what are you going with?
Well, I'm going to say ladies first
Oh.
because it's a historical event.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you let your brother be a part of it? I mean, not a part of it, but be the first person. So I'm going to say he let his wife be the first person to
I
purchase.
see. I see.
Okay, so you're going with Lily.
I'm going to go with Lily.
Chivalry not dead.
Everything on the board seems to have been selected. We checked chat, and folks are saying D is mentioning Roy.
I was
Trisha.
like, that wasn't one of the. I was like, D's not one of the selections possible here.
D saying Roy.
I
Trisha
didn't see
saying
it on my
C.
screen.
Yeah, Trisha saying C. David is saying C. Bob Smith is saying Lillian. Eddie saying A. Judah saying A. Terry saying going with Roy O. Bree saying A. Timothy Hessel saying Art. Trisha saying hello, puppy.
I like Timothy's answer. That's a good one.
And
I like that one. That's a smart one. It's smart, Timothy.
the correct answer for who purchased the very first ticket on Disneyland's opening day, July 17th, 1955. A. Roy O. Disney, the brother.
Because I can.
Because he
I hate
can.
this game.
That's
I do
right.
it every time.
Garrett, Tony,
Oh boy.
you loses. How about that?
We held the ticket in our hand.
No.
We held the ticket.
They know. They know firsthand. Literally. Firsthand in hand.
I had the whole ticket in my hands.
So I'm glad that you explained things the way that you did, Katrina.
Exactly.
Upon your answer, yes. Next up on the Disney Trivia Minute. In what year did the Walt Disney Company take ownership of the Disneyland Hotel? There in Anaheim. Was it A, 1984, B, 1988, or C, 1990? Again, in what year did the Walt Disney Company take ownership of the Disneyland Hotel? 1984, 1988, or 1990? Garrett, let's start with you. What do you got?
Well, several years ago when we met, we had a very long phone call where you told me your story of how you became to work for the Mouse. And you told me that your first job was actually working at the Disneyland Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good memory.
I don't know if you actually mentioned any dates or anything. It was a long conversation, so long ago I'm old now. But it did happen sometime in the 20th century. So all these answers are valid. I don't know which decade, but the 90s had some crappy music, but some great Disney films. Because I know that Disneyland Hotel was owned by third-party people, and they were like, I'm going to go with 1990 because it's 3 years away from when I was born.
What did the
When I was
music
born,
have
it's
to
pretty
do
cool.
with anything?
The hotel.
I don't know. 90s just like you. Hello. 19.
Michael, please, wait your turn.
Michael Eisner was in charge in the 90s.
Yeah,
And
okay.
also part of the 80s, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna go with 90.
This team's ability to reason is, I'm really questioning it now. Yeah, thank you for that.
I am intelligent, people. I just don't show it very well.
All right.
Our sweet boy.
Katrina, in what year did the Walt Disney Company take ownership of the Disneyland Hotel? 84, 88, or 1990?
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Hotels.
Gosh.
Hotels.
Anaheim.
Picture this.
Picture this.
I don't want to.
Anaheim, 1912. Change the.
1912? It's just orange groves.
That's right. Dirt.
Got it. Good job, Tony. He got it. Anyway, so hotels, they were built.
Yeah.
Disney didn't own it at first. Right?
Yeah, fact.
100%.
True. Yeah.
The 80s happened, right?
They sure
Wild
did.
times, crazy hairdos.
They came along.
big
Neon lights.
neon lights, crazy
Prince
bright
and Michael.
colors, great music.
Mall food courts.
It's true.
All of it.
Neon.
Neon. Again.
More neon.
Yeah.
You wear it and you see it.
Yeah.
Neon everywhere.
Right.
90s, also neon.
Yes.
1988, a little girl was born. This one.
Her name was Katrina
Her name
Manzoni,
was Katrina.
ladies and gentlemen.
And I was born.
What a year.
Yeah.
That
It's
makes
a hell
you
of a year.
47?
Am I what?
You're 47 years old?
Oh my God.
Nope.
Well,
Again,
I
the
didn't-
watch
ability
your
to
language
reason.
there, Garrett.
Let's math again.
Walking on thin ice, pal.
Anyway, I have no clue. I should have paid more attention when someone was giving us instructions and stuff about the Disneyland Hotel.
I see.
I honestly am just going to say 1988 because that was when I was born.
All right, 1988.
But I think that's wrong.
Way to roll with it. Tyler, what do you got?
I also think 1988.
Why? Because Katrina was born then?
No, it has nothing to do with that at all. I remember going to the Disneyland Hotel when I was pretty young, and I was probably, I don't know, 6 or 7. I was born in 85, and I was probably like 6 or 7 or so when I first started going. And I remember that things were still very un-Disney there in a lot of ways when I first went. They still had a big giant like Olympic swimming pool and I don't know, it just didn't feel very magical to me. So
Was this pre-Trader Sam's?
oh yeah
Yes.
Trader Sam's is new.
yeah, Trader Sam's is
It's
pretty
80s.
new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even old enough to drink it itself. yet.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I'm just in my head. I don't know what tells me, but 1988 just sounds about right because I feel like
Not too hot, not too cold.
yeah. Who was it? It was the Rather family, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they owned it.
Jack and his wife,
yeah.
Bonita.
And I think it was fairly recently, which, feels like 88 to me.
88 or 90, that's the question.
Yeah, it sure is. And you two
Those
have locked
are the
in,
questions.
You
Those
two
are-
have locked in 88. Tony, what do you think?
84.
84.
Oh.
Let's
Why,
make it
why you
short
gotta do
and
me like
sweet.
that, Tony? Just stick with me for once.
There you go. And published YA Broadcasting says C. Bob Smith says B. Judith says C. David says C. Grandpa Russ says C as well. The answer
Is it C?
to win the Walt Disney Company took ownership of the Disneyland Hotel is B. 1988. Congratulations.
Yay! What a great year.
I hate this game so much. Why do we do trivia? Can we do Connect 4 next time or something?
And I'd love to hear your reasoning on why you select certain slots for your Connect 4, too.
Oh,
I think that'll be fun.
That'd be great.
I can do that.
Great.
Ariel doesn't let me play Connect 4 with her anymore. It's too competitive.
Oh, I was going to say, do you cheat? All right.
No. I beat her at. I just destroy her.
Understood, yeah. Will you stick around? There's plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next. Time for the Disney List. Taking a look at some of the best across the Walt Disney Company this week. In celebration of Disneyland's big 68th anniversary, we are talking about some of our most treasured memories when it comes to Disneyland Park's 68 years. Here with me today, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, Garrett Hassel to talk about it and share some of the finest of treasured memories. Tyler, let's begin with you. Some of your treasured memories from a place that holds an awful lot of significance in people's hearts.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure I've told one of these stories before on the show here. If this rings a bell too much, then feel free to stop me. But I remember this was kind of not just a one-time thing, but a kind of thing we did I got to do it a few times, I think, overall. And it is back when the Royal 21, when Royal 21 was actually the Disney Gallery still, which is the room above Pirates of the Caribbean, for anybody that doesn't know. There was a time where you could go, and the other thing too is, like, this was before like widespread dessert parties. Like, now every nighttime show has like a big dessert party associated with it, right? But you used to be able to, I don't even know how my dad found out about it, but my dad found out that you could go to the guest services window very early in the morning. You had to be there like at the beginning because there was only like 10 or 12 seats total for this, but it was a little dessert party for Fantasmic, and you got to sit upstairs on that balcony that you can see. That's right above kind of like where the gumbo shop is and everything. And so that was like a magical time for me when it was in the 90s and Fantasmic was brand new, and just not having to deal with the crowds and just having, sipping on my hot chocolate and having some brownies and stuff. I was like, this is awesome. This is the best. And so, when I see Fantasmic still to this day, I still think about those times I had with my father, because unfortunately he passed away, about 10 years ago. But it was a really cool time, and it was fun to see Fantasmic from up there. I mean, it was the greatest view you could imagine for that show. except maybe the guy in the control tower way up at the top. But
Yeah, even higher up.
I can't get in there. But when I'm CEO, that'll be my first course of business.
That'll be it.
Yeah. Let me into the control room.
Absolutely. Beautiful memory. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you for sharing. Katrina, what do you got?
Oh, well, one of my treasured memories is pretty much just going when I was a kid with my family, and then bringing like friends and stuff along. That was like always really fun. I think one of them was I was just like so scared of riding Peter Pan. I would just do the carousel all day. I don't even know how to do it now. I couldn't ride the
You were
carousel
scared
all
of Peter
day.
Pan?
I was scared of Peter Pan
Oh,
because you
no.
flew in the dark. I was
Yeah.
like, this is scary. You're going to fall out and die.
Fall into London.
Oh my gosh, it's
Afraid of-
scary. You get
afraid of
run over by
heights.
cars. That's
No,
frightening.
nobody wants to die, Garrett.
No.
No.
It's so scary, but I don't even know how to ride carousels all day like I did before. I'd get nauseous and vomit. But I did. I would just like ride it nonstop with my uncle, and then one day he bribed me. He's like, "I'm gonna buy you a churro, and we're gonna go on Pirates Peter Pan." And I was like, "Okay." And then I did it, and then I loved it ever since.
If we must.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, cinnamon sugar treats really get you.
They sure do.
Have courage, and then you go ride it.
That cinnamon sugar wins you over every time.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. Garrett, what do you got? Treasured memories at Disneyland Park as we celebrate the 68th anniversary.
Well, Disneyland is where I fell in love with the brand and where I wanted to be an Imagineer at first. And one of my
Look
most
at you
treasured
now.
memories- I know, right? I'm just wearing a Disney Hawaiian shirt and go on a lot of cruises.
That's
And-
right.
and
Living the
do
dream.
show. Living the dream. man.
Sounds good. I
Don't get
mean-
paid. I don't get paid for this yet. I'm waiting. Once Tyler's CEO, then he'll give us some kickback.
That's right. One
But
day.
when
that's
I was
true.
younger, I was finally tall enough to go on Indiana Jones Adventure, and I had this really cool like pirate ring from Pirates of the Caribbean from their little gift shop, and I went on Indiana Jones, and my mom took me, and we're going on it, and it's like, you seek the treasure of Mara, and all that stuff. Don't look into his eye, and I looked into his eye, and I held up the ring, hoping that the ring would protect me, and then. Stuff happened. A snake jumped out at me. A boulder almost ran me over. They trusted like a 10-year-old with driving a Jeep. I don't know. Why. No one checked my license, but I just remember holding up the ring and being like, ah! And then I later realized the ring was on upside down. That's why it didn't work. But it's just, that sense of innocence where, the magic, the magic's real. It really is. And I believe how much I am part of that story and how I'm the main character and got to get away from Mara and the temple. So that one absolutely it always sticks with me. And then another one is probably one of the first times I went on Pirates of the Caribbean. I went on with my mom and my grandma, and I was too small, so I sat on grandma's lap and I'm just seeing all the pirates go by and I'm just captivated by this. I'm like, wow, how's this real? And that's why Pirates is probably my favorite ride of all time. Indiana Jones close second. But, when you're young and you finally can remember or, take in everything before 2 rides and you're already out cold because the magic's overloaded you. But going on Pirates when I was a young whippersnapper was just so captivating because, no pirate's going to get me because my grandma was holding me and all that. But yeah, I loved my childhood at Disneyland just because everything was so real, and now I can go on all the rides because I'm big.
Because you're big.
right.
You go big boy.
But I don't have the ring anymore, so going on Indy with me is probably not a safe idea. Stuff's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No.
Now I know you look, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't be a part of that.
Listen, I just want to get a glimpse of the future.
Don't.
And in Disney World, just because you're big doesn't mean you're going to go on everything. Expedition Everest, for example. Not
Yeah.
a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't really do it.
No, that one I'm too small for actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's not tall enough.
Little guy.
Yeah, and they said I can't sit in Tyler's lap, and to that I say, that's not fair.
That is not fair.
Do you know who this guy is? He is future CEO, but we can't.
That's
tell
true.
them
They don't know
so
that
I,
yet.
So I
though.
did.
It's
I
okay.
say, hey, we're on the Kingdom Report, and they're like, "What's that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
You say,
Single
the
rider.
finest Disney fan programming in existence. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mike
Don't worry.
Leisner knows.
We'll have our own, guest relations person pushing us to the front of the line, and we'll get there.
Yep.
Sure. So I'll tell you, when it comes to Disneyland and treasured memories, I have obviously many from my time not only working there in leadership, but also for many visits in childhood and throughout my adolescence. And I often think about perhaps one of the most sort of surreal feeling moments and memories in my locked away in my mind, and that is going to the grand opening of Toontown version 1. Back in 1993. And I can recall being a tiny tyke myself at that point, but going with sort of extended family. And we all went to go visit the opening of Toontown. Now, as a reminder, Toontown is relatively small, and everybody wanted to be a part of Toontown, especially when it first opened, because it was one of the first real extensions of Disneyland in a very long time. And so it drew a tremendous amount of attention. But I can recall being there and meeting Mickey in that atmosphere, and more than anything, because I think my visit before that, I was a little too young to really recall a lot of the experiences. But I do remember very vividly meeting Mickey for the first time at Toontown. Wow. And just kind of the impression that made on me as a child and how real everything felt. Remember when a land opens up, everything is vibrant and new and looks like they intended it to look for the most part. And so it felt like I was in this cartoon world. It felt like it really existed for the first time, and being at the age where cartoons were everything, it meant so much to me. Of course, one of my cousins went into the bounce house that used to exist and popped her blister, and nurses and medical staff came running. And at that time, they dressed them up ridiculously to look like the land. So they look like these cartoon medical staff with these giant like lights on their heads.
That
and
is
like
great.
Did they come out going hot, 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 hot?
Yeah.
with their little beds on sticks?
Yeah.
And it was I'll never forget that moment too. Attached to it all, and I remember saving my my other cousin from nearly drowning in the hotel pool the same day.
Wow.
Before we went over. It was a very storied event.
What a
Yeah.
day.
Let me tell you, and that is why it's treasured. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But we celebrate Disneyland 1955, the big July 17th opening day, as they reach 68 magical years at this point. And we cheers them all into 68 more and beyond.
Yeah.
It looks good for 68.
Cheers.
My gosh.
Looking
gotten
good
better.
for 68.
Only gotten. Oh, Bruni, get out of my cup.
Get out of the cup. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, nicely done.
It's crazy for me to think, like, I feel like just yesterday we were doing, like, everybody was excited about the 60th anniversary. You know?
Dude,
Yeah.
I still think back to the 50th.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that too, but
Things move fast.
I mean, I just still feel like I can picture perfectly what Sleeping Beauty Castle looked like with all those diamonds on it and everything. And,
Paint the Night Parade.
yeah,
all
Paint
of
the
it.
Night.
My
Yeah, Paint the
God.
Night. I can't believe that's
The
like 8 years
crowds.
old at this point. That's insane. That's
And never
crazy.
to be heard from again.
Yeah, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
Please stick around. We have plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. Because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors. Frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. Are you ready for the one thing? This is where we take a look at something good, bad, or a little of both that somebody on our team has experienced as of late. And this time around, it's all about Tyler Crouch and the Disneyland Resort Hotel Cabana Rentals. Tyler, you and Katrina both had an opportunity to partake in the cabana experience.
Oh, yes.
Tell us all about it.
And we partook.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes.
It was part of a birthday celebration, was it not?
It was, which my lovely wife here put together for me. So
Can we just... Oh.
It was, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I mean, personally, I think if you can afford it, because, well, so like I said, she got it for me. So how much was it again?
It was like $575 plus tax.
Yeah, so $575, and you have
For
to
a
be
full day.
staying at one of the hotel rooms. So
One of the hotels.
yeah. So if you if that's something you can swing, I think it's all good. I mean, it's a pretty amazing experience. First of all, they give you a like a concierge type of. There's like a cabana manager, and she's running around, kind of coming and checking on you. They'll give you like movies if you want.
Cabana boy.
Yeah. Well, this was a cabana lady.
Cabana gal.
Oh.
Yeah, cabana gal. But
She was legit awesome.
she was really fun.
She was so cool.
And she would stay that you'll see some of the decorations that Katrina also set up too in the cabana, and she like helped us set up some of the balloons and the different things that Katrina brought with us as well. So she was really super nice. And on top of that, you get a private server too, who they
Cadbury.
they do one server for all of the cabanas, and there's 6 cabanas in total. We did it at the Grand Californian, by the way, if I didn't make that clear. And she was also great. Her name was, and everybody knew her. She was Grandma Julie.
Grandma Julie.
Grandma Julie.
And
She's 74 years
she
old,
was
this
74,
lady.
and she was so
Still
funny.
killing it.
Yeah, she was
Holding it down.
She was like all business in like the nicest way. You know what I mean? Like she was just like a
And
sweetheart.
party in the back.
And
I don't know about that one.
you can say that. I'm not going to.
Business in front, party in the back.
Oh,
Poor Grandma
I'm not
Julie.
growing a mullet.
Did she have a mullet? I thought that was the...
No.
Anyway.
No mullet,
you were
no.
saying, yeah. And do you get this, by the way, for the course of the entirety of the day that the pool is open? Or what does that
Yeah,
look
so
like?
you could do a half day, but the half day is a similar amount of money
Yeah, it's
to
like
the
400
full day.
bucks.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it
Oh.
doesn't make any. If you're doing this, then do a full day. And honestly, it was a little bit cloudy the day we went, so the pool wasn't like super crowded. Like there still were a number of seats available, but we've been to those pools before where you cannot find a seat anywhere. And if you want to have a pool day, and you're gonna have to have somebody like attached with a chain to these chairs to make sure that you keep your spot. And if you have the cabana, it's your spot all day, so you don't have to be there if you don't want to. But they bring you. Also, the menu, by the way, is it is from the Hearthstone Lounge kitchen, which is right next to.
No, it's from Storytellers.
Well, yeah, it's the Storytellers kitchen, which also they also supply Hearthstone Lounge food. So it's similar things that you would find on the Hearthstone Lounge menu, as well as it's kind of a cross between Hearthstone Lounge and Storytellers type food. But then the drinks come from the Craftsman bar. So it's just interesting to note because they just recently changed the menu too, and I was like, well, I want nachos, and then they got rid of the nachos.
Oh, come on.
And I was like, well, wait, doesn't it come from the Craftsman? And they're like, oh no, it doesn't come from the Craftsman. I was like, oh, so it's weird that they get their drinks from Craftsman and their food from a different kitchen. But
Very convoluted. It sounds like.
but that's what they do. But as you can see here from the photos, you get your 2 like kind of lay down chairs that are out in the front there, and then
Those
well,
are nice. Those look very cushionable and comfy.
They're very
they are
comfy.
very comfy. They are very cushiony. But I one of my favorite things though is like on the next slide we have here, they also give you a table because there's
that's nice.
there's
Heavy
no
duty.
tables anywhere in the pool. So it's like some of the food, it's like kind of a pain to eat if you don't have a table, So it was really nice. And
They don't give you a stand-up trash can you can eat on like the rest of Disney
no,
parks?
it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like Epcot.
Hey.
No,
That is prime dining surface.
That's right. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
Real estate.
Also prime germ surface. But
Yeah.
I also, these are the decorations that Katrina brought too, so they didn't give us these umbrellas and stuff just so people know. But
Yeah.
but you can
I
see
love
that
the
we have the
flamingo.
TV there, and that is a nice little bonus. Like I said, they'll bring you movies. They have this whole list of movies, and I'm just gonna say something. Cover your ears, children, if you don't want to hear this. Some may not know there's a censored version of Splash
Oh.
where there's a moment where Daryl Hannah's fin turns into legs, and you see a little butt.
Oh.
They have censored that in most copies of Splash at this point.
Definitely Disney Plus.
I just want to say, if you get Splash at this pool, not censored.
You acquired the uncensored version.
Uncensored Splash at the Grand Californian pool.
Garrett, your search is over. You got it.
So lucky. The world's at peace now.
And I love how our cabana host, she was so funny because we were talking about it. She's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then she like shows up later and I was like, you just missed it. And she's like,
You just missed the butt.
she was so cool. And then she got us Finding Nemo too, which is it's not even on the list. I think you brought it up. You're like, oh, it'd be really cool to see like Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I was like, Finding Nemo I can't believe Finding Nemo's not on this list. And she's like, oh, well, actually, we have it.
She's like, I can find it for you.
And they're all on Blu-ray too, so it was like, and
Wow.
I don't know, it was actually, she was even like, oh yeah, the colors of the movie are great, and I started kind of laughing, but then she brought it, and I was like, the colors of this movie are great. So and then to top everything off too, with everything I've already laid out there, they also give you this amazing fruit plate that is pretty stunning, honestly. And it had all these different little yummy bits on there, and I definitely dug into those blueberries and
Ooh, those grapes be calling my name.
yeah, the grapes were good too. I mean, it was a pretty great little tray, and
was
you
Is
can
that Boss
see too.
water?
Yeah, and you can see there too. I was gonna say it's not crap Dasani water.
Yeah.
They give you Voss, and also in there was Topo Chico.
Isn't that wild?
And I was about to, I was like, I kind of want a Topo Chico, and I was about to go buy one for $5 at the Craftsman.
Oh,
And I was like, nah, I'll just wait until we get to the cabana and I'll drink something there. And then lo and behold, Topo Chico comes with the
why don't
cabana.
they sell it in the parks? It's
I
a
almost-
Coca-Cola product. Why
They
don't they sell
do.
it?
There are a few stands in near Galaxy's Edge and over by
Matterhorn.
the Matterhorn that are starting to sell Topo Chico.
Lime Topo Chico.
But
The one in
Refreshing.
Epcot,
Lime.
Mexico.
Yeah,
refreshing.
and then they give you like a really nice. They had cold towels, but they soak them in eucalyptus water, so they're like really refreshing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
really
yeah,
nice.
it was nice.
And so when you open the refrigerator, you're like, oh, this is so relaxing. But it was so cold outside and like overcast, we didn't really need to use them.
Well, I was using them because I was going in the jacuzzi and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was getting really toasty,
kinda
and then I
patted
just
it
kind of
down.
pat my face every now and then. I was like, oh, this is nice.
And for that money, I would use them regardless.
Yeah.
yeah.
No matter what.
And then on top of everything else too, they give you this little they give you kind of a little what do you call them, like little accoutrements that have like suntan lotion
Ooh.
and
Is that a
aloe
swab?
vera and
Is that Evian in a can?
The Evian
it's
spray.
it's
yeah.
Evian spray to spray your face. Yeah, it's like it's so strange.
The
but
character was a part of my little display. It doesn't. That does not. It's not included
You
in
brought
the
that from
cabana.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But our little cabana host wanted it to protect the accoutrements that they gave us, like
Oh,
the
thank
copper
goodness.
tone and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
we
like,
named
you
her
protect-
Moana.
We named her Moana. Yeah.
Yes.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
And then,
Good
as you
boy,
can
good
see
boy.
there too, the pictures of Margarita. The pictures are a new thing that you can get fairly recently. I think it's only been there for a couple months, if that. Where you can get pictures of a number of the drinks now, and I would say it was definitely worth it. We got a half pitcher of beer at one point, and whoever filled it up basically did it like 75% of the way. So it was like, we even got, more. We got enough beer for like 4 glasses when it was supposed to be for.
You got a birthday pour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. So that was really nice.
I mean, we got like 9 cups. If you see those little cups, we got 9 cups of margaritas from that whole pitcher.
Fantastic.
I forgot how much it was. It was like $60.
Some- 60
I forgot.
something,
It was
think.
pretty high.
Low 60s, but
But I was like, okay, 9
It
cups
was
is
Grand
fine.
California prices.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
exactly.
was fine.
But and then if you're bringing your little ones to the pool as well, I think it's also important to note that at the there was one part of the day, I think it was around 3:30 or so, or 4 maybe, where a few of the characters came out and started dancing with the kids and playing games. They would like line all the kids up and they would play games, and it was this fun little kind of DJ dance party that I thought was pretty cute. And so it was Minnie, Daisy, and then also Pluto showed up after a little bit too. So it was fun to see them kind of, you know, messing around with the kids, and the kids were all having a great time. And we got a little video too. I didn't realize we had the video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man,
So we can
we're-
take a look
no.
around that cabana.
Yeah.
No expense spared
I mean,
on this
honestly,
show.
this was like massive. And then they give you like 2 robes too, which is really nice to like wear around. They don't give them to
I
you,
don't.
but,
I don't know.
you know, you
Well,
can
I was gonna
wear
say
'em.
I don't know if I don't think they always let you take.
No,
them,
she said no.
But she
liked us.
But she said we could take the robes with us.
Hey, well.
So we did.
So
but,
yeah, that was like
um,
her birthday gift to us in
yeah.
a way. But yeah, and you get a
Go
little
be
close-up.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Yes. With I wish it did have velvet. You know, a velvet interior.
That would be nice.
Then we'd be in business. But
I mean, it's like a nice,
and what a
plush
view!
interior.
Look at that pool.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is prime real estate.
I will say we got
is
cab-
very
for
nice.
anybody that wants to know, this is Cabana 3, and just from looking at the other cabanas and things, I think this is the best one because not only you've got kind of a server area right next door to this cabana, so not only can you don't really have like a neighbor per se, but also it's just like kind of in the more quiet part of the pool, and because there's kind of 2 pools technically there's 3, I guess. But 2 of the pools have cabanas on them, and I think this is kind of the quieter area that, to me, was perfect. So I would say Cabana 3 is kind of the one to ask for. And you can ask when you call what
which cabana you
you'd
want.
like. Yeah,
They'll call you back when you book it. They'll be like, okay, yeah, the cabana person will call you back. And then like a couple days before, they'll be like, hi, is there anything that you're celebrating? Do you want to put on the television? Because they'll program the television. That's why I said happy birthday, Tyler.
Yeah.
On it. And so I was like, oh, okay, fun. And then that's when I was like, okay, I have some requests. And then they're like, oh, Cabana 3. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they figured
It was
what
a
an
really
experience.
It was a really fun
It was
time. It goes by so quick though because you do get it for the better part of the day. But
9:30 to like 5:30 is usually like the span where you'll get it for the full day. But honestly, the Disneyland Hotel is the same price as the Grand Californian Hotel, and those are pretty old and gross. I mean, they're small. Like this one,
This
you can
is
fit 8
definitely
people,
bigger.
and then that one you can only fit 6. And then this one has like a nice table and 2 plushy like lounge chairs, and then you have like that whole interior L-shaped couch, and then over there you only get like a little love seat, 2 kind of plushy lay down chairs, and like I don't think you even get a table over at the Disneyland Hotel. Maybe you do, but it's really small.
So it feels like a reduced experience
Yeah.
at the Disneyland Hotel then. Okay.
And then plus you have 2 hotels going in there right now because you have like the Pixar, or you have Paradise Pier, and then you have Pixar, whatever it's called. And
Pixar
then
Place.
Pixar Place, and then you go over the Disneyland Hotel. So you have 2 hotels going to the Disneyland Hotel.
Sure.
And then a little people, like some people migrate to the Grand Californian, but not all people know that you can go there if you're staying at the Paradise Pier Hotel.
yeah, and a hot tip. I don't know if they're going to change this
Hot tip.
after the fact, but your card, even though it you are supposed to technically only be able to get in through the gate if you're staying at the Grand Californian, you can go in, you can use your room key if you're staying. We were staying at Paradise Pier, and we just used our room key to go in through the front, which technically you're not supposed to do that, or they don't want that. But I think I don't know if they've just relaxed it because of the pool situation right now, or if it's just going to stay like this forever. But
Garrett, did you feel that? That was a hot tip.
The hottest of tips. I just am sad that I didn't get the invite. I got it late in the mail, and when
That's
I
all
showed up in my
Next
Speedo,
year.
it was very awkward. Yeah.
Next
I
year.
mean, you can come and stay with us whenever you want, Garrett.
Okay.
All right, see you tomorrow.
And
What?
done.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah, there you go. And I'll tell you, in chat, Nancy White sharing with us that she also stayed at the Grand Californian cabanas and that they were absolutely worth it, mentioning that it was a hot day before Disneyland's half marathon. And said it was so relaxing in a cabana. It was awesome, totally worth it. So, Nancy, happy to hear that it was worth it to you. And if you have ever experienced a luxury item like a cabana at a Disney hotel, we would love to hear from you. Was it worth it? What did you pay? And ultimately, if it wasn't worth it to you, what would have made it worth the price? Let us know in the comments. All right, friends. Well, that about wraps up this edition of Kingdom Report Live. As always, we are so grateful to have been a part of your weekend. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Or if you are listening to us via podcast, rate and review is always much appreciated. And do recall that as we head into the 68th anniversary of the beautiful Disneyland Park, the original Magic Kingdom, that the legacy of Walt Disney, well, it lives on because of people like you and me, and we give a tremendous toast to the happiest place on earth. One more magical year. We'll see you next week for another installment of Kingdom Report Live.